All right, all right, all right, all right. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully there's no echo. Is everybody in the building? Yes, it's my birthday, and I am streaming on my birthday. If you can hear me, please tell me. If you can't hear me, Lord help me. Here we go. In the building. In the building. Can you hear me? Sounds good. Happy birthday. I don't like the title of this. Happy birthday. Can't believe I made it to back on a stream. You missed the last two. Happy birthday, bro. Hey Corey, happy birthday. Sounds good. Happy birthday. Appreciate you vibing with us on your B-Day. Sounds good. Too bad you're not in town here. I'm just now cooking the meatballs for tonight. Spaghetti. Can we hit the donation goal for my birthday? Let's see. We're going to just start talking about it. What up, AAA? Happy birthday. If you are a 4-monther, 4-year, you have your 4-year badge right beside you for the members. Let's talk about everything, the main thing that's going on right now in OTAs. And we all know what the main thing is. And the main thing is what's going to be for Cleveland football until September hits. And that's the quarterback position. Thank you, Tweak Pat. 47 months. You almost got that badge, my guy, for 48 months.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And it's the quarterback position. Thank you, broadcast. $10 donation.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And we're going to start with Deshaun Watson because everything in camp right now is about Deshaun Watson. There is things talking about Deshaun Watson has not counted out staying in Cleveland past this year. He has not counted it out. Depending on how this year's goes, he could stay past this year when the contract is over for Deshaun Watson. And I'm like, well, duh. Thank you, Stephanie, 43 months. Well, duh, he hasn't counted it out. Who else is going to want Deshaun Watson after this year? Who else? Like, that's not news to me. There's not going to be teams lining up to sign Deshaun Watson. So that's not, breaking news to me. Of course, he's thinking about staying in Cleveland. Of course, that hasn't, been off his list. Nobody's lining up to sign Deshaun Watson. There's rumors that he has hit it off with the offensive staff, Todd Monken being number one. And of course, and I have said this before, he looks great in camp already. He's getting flying passing tests, flying colors. He looks great in camp. And I have said this. This happens every single year. He looks great in camp. He is the greatest off-season player in the history of sports. In shorts and a helmet, he looks great. I've seen clips of him throwing deep balls to Jerry Jeudy. Deshaun is back. Look at him. Here we go. Why? Why does everybody fall for this? I've still got a minute before I hit 48. Maybe the Vikings? Tweak Pat. Maybe. Kyler Murray's only on 1 year, Tweak Pat. Him and J.J. McCarthy are going to battle it out. Maybe the Vikings. If I was the Vikings, Tweak Pat, I'm steering clear away. I'm playing franchise mode in first season under my control 4 and 5. Preach it, Corey. Not taking control. Let the CP play. Stephanie laughing. I don't understand. What more do we need to see out of Deshaun Watson that's going to make us go, you know what? Let's pay him again. Let's pay him again to play quarterback for Cleveland. I have seen enough of Deshaun Watson. What else is there to see, broadcast? Yo, say it's your birthday. Appreciate you, broadcast, with that $10 donation. What else is there to see? We're going to hear this stuff the entire of the offseason. He's picking up the offense fast in camp. He's looking good in camp. He's probably going to look better than Shedeur Sanders because he is a great offseason quarterback. And I kept saying this from day one, and this is my fear. Money's going to matter when it comes to picking the quarterback. If people don't think that comes into the equation, I have land to sell you in Idaho for $1.95. It's going to come into equation. And I also seen from Mary Kay Cabot talking about the beginning of the schedule for the Browns also playing a factor. They start heavy on the road, at Jacksonville, at Tampa Bay. They brought up that Deshaun Watson is 7-0 against Jacksonville in his career. None of that was in Cleveland. And they bring up these stats. I don't believe. Maybe one of them was. I don't know. You could fact check me on that. But they bring up these stats about Deshaun Watson. And these stats when he was not in Cleveland. This is not the Houston Texans Deshaun Watson when it comes to records he's beaten and things like that. Now, yes, is he a veteran? I understand it. Against Shedeur, he has more experience than Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel combined. We understand that. But if we want to see what the future of this franchise is, it's not Deshaun Watson, in my humble opinion. This is the last year of his contract, right? I believe it is, Stephanie. But let me fact check that. I'm looking right now. Yes, 2026 is the final year of Deshaun's original 5-year, $230 million contract with the Cleveland Browns. So this is his last year, and the Browns have to decide what to do with Deshaun Watson. Your alternative for the starting quarterback, which it looks like it's going to be, is Shedeur Sanders. Now, is Shedeur Sanders a finished product? No. I'm not coming on here and saying that Shedeur Sanders is a lock to be the starter. You should just give the keys to Shedeur and go. Don't even try and have a competition. Competition is good for everyone. But the thing with Shedeur Sanders is, I don't think people give enough credit for. Everybody talks about, the 10 interceptions that he had and his QBR was low. He's not good, blah, yada, 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 yada. It's not about the circumstances with Shedeur Sanders, with the no offseason reps with the first team, with arguably the worst line in the NFL by time he got in playing quarterback. You can't name me the receivers that he had that would start on another NFL team. That they would go, yes, let me have that receiver there. Let me put him out wide and beat his man. We're not talking about the weapons he didn't have. And he was still able to make throws that made you go, that's something I could work with from my quarterback. He showed flashes of good quarterbacking skills, and then he had flashes of, you got to tone that in. We need to fix those things. And that was with 7 games of football. Deshaun Watson, how many games has he played for the Browns in his 4 years here? A veteran that only played like 14 games in 4 years, constantly hurt, and hasn't thrown 250 plus yards in a game at Cleveland. Sorry, got no notice today. What up, Robert? I'm so tired of this, Grandpa. Can Haslam just sell the team to Dan Gilbert, please? I'm going to see that. How many games has he played? How many games has Deshaun played for the Browns? I love Google. 19 games in 4 years. 19 games in 4 years for Deshaun Watson. That's due to injuries and suspension. Thank you, Robert. Don't care who wins. Don't care who starts, long as we win. Thank you, Robert. Working our way
Here we go.
to
Money talk.
the birthday goal.
Here comes the money.
Greatly appreciated.
Here we go.
Thank you
Money
so
talk.
much.
Here
5
comes
off.
the money.
So that's 6 games in 2022, 6 games in 2023, and 7 games in 2024. He had the 11-game suspension. In 22, 23, he had a shoulder injury. In 2024, he had an Achilles injury. And then last year, obviously, he sat out the entire year because of that Achilles injury. Bro basically played 1 full season for us. Exactly. That is not good for Deshaun Watson. So the question is, when it comes to the quarterback position, if Deshaun Watson does start, will he be able to play an entire season? The track record says no. It says he will not be able to do it. Now, I hope that's not true. If he does win, I don't want him to not play because he is injured. I would want him to finish the season because that means he's healthy. That means it's a human that's not getting injured because I don't like injuries. Hit the like button when you come in. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, you all know how the Browns are. Chances are none of these guys will be here in 2 years. That is a very good point. Maybe none of these guys will be here in 2 years. I wouldn't mind if Watson's not here, but I do want Shedeur Sanders to get a fair shot. Also in OTAs, which I don't think it's a big deal. I want you to let me know, do you think it's a big deal? Is it a big deal? And I've said this before, I don't care. Is it a big deal that Myles Garrett is not there? Obviously, he is the best player on the team. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Myles Garrett is the best player on the team. Is it a big deal that Myles Garrett is not at OTAs? We all know mandatory camp starts in June. The OTAs are not mandatory, and he is not here. Is it a big deal that Myles Garrett is not present at OTAs? If Deshaun does start, then it would be great if he could show Shedeur some of his signature moves that did make him as good as he was at one time. So you're referring to him being able to get away from pressure when the pocket does collapse or when the defense is able to get to the quarterback unevaded. That is one thing that Deshaun is very good at, is creating a free play out of nothing. That was one of his strong suits when he got to Cleveland, and he did show some of that ability when he was on the field. That was one of his strengths. His strengths was not reading the defense from the pocket and firing an accurate pass, especially deep, but he was able to make a couple of Houdini plays that made you go, maybe we have something here. But is it a big deal that Myles Garrett is not showing up to OTAs? He is the one player that I can think of that is not there, that maybe, just maybe, you can make an argument that should. Do you think it's a big deal? Let me know. And for Lovey Marie, who's not here, we're going to start a poll. Stephanie says no. He gives you much through all the mandatory that he might just need a little bit of rest. There were a couple of times where he played with minor injuries and it was hard on him. I think it was a big deal the year he kept asking for a trade. Saw something the other day where one of the coaches said it isn't a big deal. He said a lot of guys weren't there. It's only a big deal because he's Myles. I like all three of your answers there. I don't think it's a big deal. We all know what Myles Garrett can do. Myles Garrett's not trying to learn the offense. Myles Garrett not trying to learn the defense, even though we do have a new defensive coordinator. I always think OTAs is a big deal for the quarterback position. Rookies, obviously, when you're trying to learn a new offense, a new scheme, quarterbacks need to be at OTAs, getting that rhythm with their offense. When you have a guy like Myles Garrett, who is a defensive player of the year, who is the sack leader in NFL history, we all know what he brings to the table. There is no way, no how that I am going to say anything about Myles Garrett not being in OTAs. Now, I can understand the other side of it, though. Well, if he's going to be a leader, he needs to lead by example for the young guys. He needs to be a leader by example by being at OTAs and showing these young guys the ropes. I can understand that point of view. I won't get mad at that point of view, but I just don't agree with it. Because on the defensive side of the ball, Myles Garrett, we know how great he is already. Now, if he doesn't show up to mandatory camp, then we may have an issue. We may have a problem. Then there's something we can talk about. Now, I think it was a big deal the year he kept asking for a trade. Okay. Not mad at that. No biggie, says AAA. No biggie, says AAA. I like it. If you had to guess right now, OTAs just started yesterday. We're at the second day of OTAs. If you had to pick one receiver out of the rookies who is going to make a bigger impact, Denzel Boston or KC Concepcion, who do you think will make a bigger impact this year? What up, Scott from Florida? How you doing, my guy? Hit that like button when you come in. It's the birthday stream. Can we hit the goal? Everybody said no on that poll for Myles Garrett. Who do you think will make a bigger impact? KC Concepcion or Denzel Boston? I know it's very early, and this question is hard to answer, but guess what? This is what I feel like doing, asking the hard questions. Who makes the bigger impact? KC Concepcion or Denzel Boston? If you only had to pick one receiver. I did see a clip yesterday of Shador Sanders hitting KC Concepcion over the middle. Thought it was a very nice play. His yards after catch in college was pretty good. I think it was like 7.6 yards after the catch. That is something that you need a receiver to do in the NFL. Be able to make a man miss. Be able to get those yards after the catch for KC Concepcion. Denzel Boston is that big body receiver that can just go up and get the ball. Who do you think which one? Let me know. My reasoning is because the year after he kept asking for a trade, he had some plays where you could tell he was just not into it because of our record or the offense. But last year he kicked butt and never took his foot off the gas. Happy birthday. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. May 20th, 1985 is when I came into this world. So if you do a little quick math, that could tell you how old I am today. But May 20th, 1985 is when I came into this world. And we are talking about OTAs for the Cleveland Browns. If I had to pick right now, if I put my feet to the fire, Denzel Boston or KC Concepcion, who's going to make the bigger impact this year, only having one OTA, no preseasons, I would say Denzel Boston, is because we haven't had a receiver that we have been able to, a receiver, not tight end, inside the red zone, we're going to be able just to throw it up. Go get me one. A go-get-it guy. And that is Denzel Boston. And I think that's going to be key when we get up in the red zone. Having that ability to have a guy, if he's one-on-one, you can just throw it to him. When you have that type of weapon, go look at the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I am not saying he is Devontae Adams. Not saying that, but to have that ability, to have that option, to have a bigger receiver where you can just throw it up when it's one-on-one coverage, that is a big deal to me, and we haven't had that in a while. Yes, we have tight ends. Like, hit the like when you come in, please. Greatly appreciate it. Birthday stream. Can we hit the goal for my birthday to make me very happy? We've had, David Njoku, Harold Fannin Jr. last year, but we haven't had a receiver in a very long time. The last receiver I can think of, let me know if I'm missing somebody, is Josh Gordon. Have we had another receiver of that frame that can just go get the football one-on-one inside the red zone, or even deep passes that they can just jump and go get the football? I think just besides Denzel Boston now is Josh Gordon. I could be wrong. You can fact check me in the comments if there's somebody else that you could think of. What up, Jonathan? Happy birthday, Corey. My birthday was on Monday. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. He also has a great name for a football player. Yes, Denzel Boston. He was not related to David Boston, by the way. Miles not showing up till training camp. He is not, coach. And that's all I need him for is June. So that's why I picked Denzel Boston. I don't see anybody else answering my question. That's okay. You guys are going to make me make a poll. I'm going to make a poll. That's fine. But I can't spell. Oh man, how do you spell his name? Oh Lord, help me. Y'all know I can't spell or pronounce names, and y'all gonna make me make a poll. I thought you guys loved me. On my birthday, you're gonna make me spell out KC Concepcion. But we're going to do it. Hit that like when you come in. Greatly appreciate it. Answer the poll that I'm putting up right now. Lovey Marie's not here, I don't think, but she would love just a good poll to answer. Who has the bigger impact this year, KC Concepcion or Denzel Boston? Hit the poll now. Hit the poll. That doesn't sound good. Don't hit the poll. Just answer the poll question. What up, Tim? Happy birthday. Don't drink too much. I remember turning 21. Me too. I'm turning 21 today, and we'll leave it at that. Who has the bigger impact, Denzel Boston or KC Concepcion? It is my birthday. We are 25% of the way to hitting the birthday goal. I know we could do it to make my day glorious on this grainy in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, May the 20th. I got it right. Google helped me. I'm not going to lie. Google helped me. I didn't do it on my own. While we're answering that poll, we're going to go back to the quarterback position. Is there any Browns fan right now that would have a scenario where Denzel Washington, yes, to be the coach of the Browns, that wants Deshaun Watson to be the quarterback in 2027? Tammy Simmons, thank you for the $10 donation. Greatly appreciated. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Tammy Simmons. Tammy Simmons, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have a quarterback preference, Tammy? I'm going to put you on the spot. Shador Sanders or Deshaun Watson? Thank you for the $10
Here
donation.
comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Shador
Here comes
Sanders
the money.
or Deshaun Watson? And then for the rest of you, why I'm putting Tammy on the spot, is there any scenario that you would accept Deshaun Watson being the quarterback in 2027? Let me know in the chat. What scenario could you go, you know what? I woke up, I had a banana, a smoothie, a protein shake, and I don't mind Deshaun Watson being the Browns quarterback in 2027. Is there a scenario that you would be okay with that? Get it in the chat, and I will let you know if I have a scenario where I wake up in the morning, have a banana, a protein shake, a smoothie, and I go, you know what? I'm okay with Deshaun. If I call him Denzel one more time, I'm going to quit. I'm okay with Deshaun Watson being the quarterback in 2027. Jonathan says never. Lady J, thank you for the happy birthday wish. Tammy says Shador all the way. Tammy's smart. She's smart. She understands ball, ladies and gentlemen. She gets it. She understands it. Yes, if he balls out and we win 11 or 12 games, that should get you in the playoffs. 12-5 should get you in the playoffs. So Robert said if he gets to 12 wins, he is okay. He is okay with Deshaun Watson. Tweaked Pat 100. Grenade in the chat from Tweaked Pat.
Here comes the money.
Grenade in the
Here we
chat
go.
for Tweaked
Money
Pat.
talk.
Got to get some housework done. So happy birthday, Corey. All love and let's hope so. Starts. Thank you, Tweaked Pat. And $20 gifty wifties. Holy macanoli, Tweaked Pat. Holy moly. Goodness gracious, Tweaked Pat. Thank you for the birthday love, my guy. Thank you for the birthday love. My goodness. Thank you so much. Healthy and can deliver wins. Play him. Okay, that came from Coach J. So there are a couple people that understands and that says, listen, the Devil's back on the membership thanks to Tweak Pat. If you got a membership and you're here, say thank you to Tweak Pat. 20 memberships. There's a couple people that say if he wins, let's keep him in. That rhymes. Bars. Mr. Gifty Wifty himself. Here is my scenario where I am okay with Deshaun Watson being the quarterback of 2027 Cleveland Browns. And my only scenario where I see it happening, and we'll just have to understand, hey, he's our quarterback and he could be our future. If he wins a Super Bowl, he's our quarterback for 2027. And I think everybody would go, I mean, what can we say about that? He just won a ring. If he's able to win a Super Bowl, I think everything that happened before, nobody would care. Happy birthday, C. Thank you, B. Skrills. Nobody would care. If he won a Super Bowl, Cody Newton, what up? Now listen, I don't think that's going to happen, first of all. I'm giving you my scenario. I don't think there is a chance in a bologna sandwich in Idaho that he's going to win a Super Bowl. What does that even mean? I don't know. But that is the only scenario that I can think of where I wake up in the morning and I go, you know what? I don't mind him. I don't mind him being the quarterback in 2027. Boss, says Broadcast, is him winning a Super Bowl. What could you say then? How could you possibly go against it then? No matter who your backup quarterback is, this man just won you a Super Bowl. Of course he'd be the quarterback in 2027. Anything before that doesn't even matter. He would have erased all the negativity that he had built up if he came in and somehow, some way, through the good hands of the football gods, delivered a Super Bowl to Cleveland. But that's my only scenario that I can see that I would be like, okay, with Deshaun Watson being the quarterback for the Browns next year in 2027. But that's it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I know it's far-fetched. I know it's reaching out there. But that is the only scenario that I can see that I go, you know what? I'm going for it. Let's go. Deshaun Watson, quarterback of 2027. Other than that, when it comes to the quarterback position, and I know we're going to talk about this ad nauseum at camp, ad nauseum. It's just going to be a thing, and we have to get used to it because we have two Tweet Pat, us, the boss, not DW4. Okay, got you. Tweet Pat is the boss. I got you. Oh, you're asking for next year? Yes, Coach Jay. My AFC prediction are done. Broncos 13-4, Jags 13-4, Bills 12-5, Ravens 11-6, Chiefs 11-6, Browns 10-7, Texans 9-8. The Browns go 10-7. That is a win for the Cleveland Browns. But like I was saying, we're going to have to get used to this. It's going to be a lot of articles, a lot of videos being made by your favorite content creators that are Browns, your favorite personalities, whoever you watch, about Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. It's just going to be made in different variations because they are the two probably most popular players on the team, and they play about the most popular position in football. This is just what it is. They'll sprinkle in some Myles Garrett stuff, maybe some Todd Monken stuff, maybe. But at the end of the day, it's going to be about those two because that's all that people care about. Who is going to be the starting quarterback for this football team? You're going to see QB trackers. You're going to see everybody with their different opinions writing articles of who is winning the quarterback battle. Todd Monken says he wants to get it done in camp. He wants to choose sooner than later. So it's going to be different things on a different day about these two young men playing the quarterback position. And this is what we're going to have to live with when you have two polarizing figures for two different situations. You'd be thrilled at 10-7. When is he addressing the media? Not sure, Coach Jay. I'm not sure when he's going to address the media. I will say this. I just have a feeling, Coach J, Broadcast, Pebble, B Skrills, Stephanie. I'm looking up to see the last people who've made a comment. Cody Newton, broadcast. Tammy. I will say, if I had to go with my gut right now, I do believe our first game at Jacksonville, that DW4 will be the starter for the Cleveland Browns. I just think they're going to lean that way. I just think that if you take your emotion out of it and you take whoever you want to win out of it and you go strictly off of football, circumstance, contract, it's going to be hard for the Cleveland Browns to sit down a guy who is making $40+ million this year and make him the backup quarterback. I just think it's going to be hard for them to do. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think it's just hard. Because Shedeur Sanders, I love Shedeur Sanders. This is not a knock against him, but I don't think he is going to be miles and miles, leaps and bounds above Deshaun Watson in camp. I think that's the only way he is quarterback, if he is leaps and bounds above Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson has the curve ahead of him, and it's that $40 million. It is what it is, and I think that's just how the cookie is going to crumble. Do I want to be wrong? Yes. I have AAA says I think so too. B Skrills, I got the Browns going 1-1 in Florida. I have never wanted to be so wrong about something in my entire life because I believe Shedeur Sanders ended the season the starter. I believe he deserves the shot to open the season the starter and see what he can do from opening camp with better aligned and with better weapons. I think he deserves that. But then again, that $40 million tag, that trade that they're still trying to justify, which are not going to be able to justify it, I think that's going to play a role in who is the starting QB for the Cleveland Browns. So, I'm going to leave you with that thought. Afraid you are right, Corey. It's the money and experience. I think so too. I'm going to leave you with that thought. If Deshaun Watson wasn't on this team, Shedeur Sanders would be the starting quarterback right now. It would not be any questions. But Deshaun Watson is going to trump that, and I think he will be the quarterback. But we got a lot of football. We got a lot of football to talk about. Hopefully, during camp, there will be more stories that develop that we could talk about besides the starting quarterbacks. I hope that there is, because I don't know how many lives and how many videos I can make about the starting quarterback, right? I don't know how many ways I can spin it, how many ways I can go, you know what, now this is happening, But I want to do my best. I want to do what I can do for you. And that rhymed again. You know what? I'm very good at this rhyming stuff. I'm pretty darn good. Wait, says AAA. Okay. Shedeur Sanders will handle whatever happens with grace. He will. And I don't think he gets that credit too. I don't think Shedeur gets enough credit of how he handles the media. For the most part, I think it's been flawless. I know he gets some flack of, posting stuff on Instagram and his Instagram story. Some people don't agree with it. That's fine. Whatever. But how he handles interviews, I think he has been absolutely flawless with how he handles interviews, how he answer questions that sometimes are pretty stupid in my humble opinion. But I think he does a good job at that. And if he is the backup quarterback going into the season, I think he will do a good job. And in the poll, who has a bigger impact this season, 62% said KC Concepcion, and 38% said Denzel Boston. All right. AAA said wait, so I'm going to wait. It is May 20th. We have hit the birthday stream goal. Thank you guys so much for coming in on the birthday stream. The good thing about May 20th, it's my birthday. The bad thing about May 20th is we got June 20th, July 20th, August 20th. We got 3 months before they're going to play a real football game, which is going to be in September. 3 months of talking camp, OTA, and then preseason. 3 months, ladies and gentlemen, before, holy moly, that's why AAA said wait. Glad I waited. $100 grenade in the chat from AAA. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Corey. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for all you do for us. I appreciate you, AAA. Thank you for always showing up. Watch parties, Patreon, YouTube streams, everything. Appreciate you so much, my guy. Thank you for the $100 donation.
Here we go. Money talk.
On my birthday. The goal was met. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot. Like I said, we are not the biggest channel. We probably will never be the biggest channel, but I do believe we're the most interactive channel, the most interactive family. I don't think anybody can top that. And then when it comes to the watch parties, you already know. But, you know, the birthday came out today in the pick. Did it? Oh, man. Dag nabbit. No, why didn't I play the pick 3? Dang. All right, y'all. Until next time, you know the drill. It is all love. There will be a QA this week. I'm going to do it, Robert. I'm going to post it as soon as I get off here so I don't forget. There will be a QA this week. Appreciate you for reminding me. It is all love. Members, get on that QA. Peace.